How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Lucid Group. The messages have been coming in. Dre, are you going to be giving us a video for the weekend so we're prepared for Monday? And I'm like, you know what? Of course I got you guys covered. One thing that I do want to bring up, I was saying in the technicals in the previous video, if we did have a pullback and it was major, you'd want to see some strength of it bouncing off $47.50. Instead, on the Friday, we ended up pulling back to $47.50. So you know what, I was off a little bit, but one thing that is very clear, the technicals are showing us this can look very bullish going into the new week, and that's what I'm going to be sharing with you guys. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know those key levels so we're prepared in a bearish case scenario and as well as in a bullish case scenario. And then we're going to go on Fintel taking a look at the short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know what was the buying and as well as the selling behavior like on the institutional side and as well as on the retail side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for Lucid. Let's see how it performed on Friday. So it ended up closing at $55.21, being up 17.34%. On the low, it tested $47.15, and then on the high, testing $55.40. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 166.718 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days being at 125.705 million shares. So when you have this above average volume coming through Lucid, you end up seeing some strong price action like we saw on the Friday. Now, when we take a look at a chart, which is a daily chart, you can see from the RSI down below, it was right around 70.19, so it is in that overbought territory. And then when we take a look at the moving averages here in our chart, we have strength above the 200-day, the 100-day, the 50-day, and as well as the 21-day EMA. You can see we're continuing to be on this strong uptrend, and we also been seeing increasing levels of support. We've seen it here at around 36. We've also seen it being built up around 40. We've seen it at 44, 48, and of course we've been seeing it at 50. Now we want to see that move going to 60 bucks. I was telling you guys that's where I want to see Lucid reach from a trading perspective, because if we can get to 60 and have gained some more momentum from there, this stock can easily start taking off and going to close to around $68 and so on. As far as where we tested support, it was right here around 47.15, and I was talking about we'd want to see some strength right around 47.50 if it did decide to pull back like it did. And of course it landed in that 47 zone, not 47.50 to be exact, and it was able to bounce and then show a strong move going to 55.21. So as far as going into Monday, I would love to see Lucid hold up the $50 level and then make that move to where we can start getting to 60. Happening on Monday would be the most ideal scenario, but I wouldn't be too shocked if it takes some time, but it is going to be happening sometime this week, and it's part of the reasons why I wanted to make sure that you guys keep this play on the radar. But for the most part, Lucid is looking very bullish. So we're going to take a look at the short interest information for Lucid. So the dark pool short volume ratio is at 58.26%, and then for the dark pool short volume being just over 53.92 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 10 million, updated 11 minutes ago, and then for the short borrow free rate, it's at 0.49%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we can see for the close of the 18th, it was at 35.65, and then for the close of the 19th, which is Friday that just passed, it's at 58.26. So that is a big difference right there. And what this tells us, Lucid has short squeeze potential. But of course, this is of no surprise to anyone who's been in this play for quite some time. And it's part of the reasons why you're going to end up seeing a lot of volatility. So now let's jump into the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for Lucid. So we can see here on the inflow is at 2,285. And then on the outflow, it was 1,517. Taking a look at the breakdown even further, on the large, we had 45.42. On the medium, we had 1,205. And then on the small, we had 1,035. And keep in mind, this is in the millions. When we take a look at the outflow side on the large, it was 5.98. On the medium, it was 874. And then on the small, it was 637. When we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for November 19th, so the Friday that just passed, it being at 39.44 million. So what this tells us right away, institutions were loading up on shares on the Friday. Now, when we take a look at the breakdown, you can see for the small scale orders, which tends to represent the retail side, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at the medium, we had more buying than we had selling as well. And then when we take a look at the large, that is a big discrepancy right there. So we have 45.42 million versus 5.98 million on the outflow. So again, there was a lot of buying that was happening. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 10.13%. So taking this into consideration, we know there's a lot of traders that are in and out of this play, and we also do know many that are holding on to their positions as well. But just by taking a look at the order flow overall, it is looking very bullish, and it's part of the reasons why I'm going to be talking about my predictions even further inside of the final thoughts. So let's get into it right now, and as well as some more details. So for my final thoughts for Lucid Group and in regards to my price predictions, I would love to see it hit $60 sometime this week. One thing that is very clear, we do have resistance at $57.50. So if we're able to actually pass this level, then of course I feel that 60 should be able to be reached fairly easy and also be able to move even further from there. Now, if we don't end up reaching these particular levels, then the other option could be to consolidate, continuing to hold up the range of $50. We ended up testing $47.15 on the Friday. So if we end up getting to that level again, that's what I say, you know what, let it consolidate and then make another move up. If it breaks through that 47 level, then of course there's more downside there. But I am very bullish and I want to see this stock get to 60 plus. Many people are going to say, wait a second. You said that, you know what, it is not good to invest in Lucid at these current prices. Because if you haven't known already, when it comes to infrastructure related plays, we are in quite the bubble. A lot of valuations have gone up, and especially many companies don't have the revenue to actually back it up. Let's be honest here. So I just want to make sure if you're thinking about taking an investment decision, you're doing your homework and you're doing your due diligence, and then you're thinking to yourself, is this company in particular worth paying for at the current prices if the finances don't back it up? In my personal opinion, I feel that you should not be buying any stocks for investment purposes if the valuations do not line up whatsoever, and I'm not going to change that for anybody, and that's just the way how I approach my overall investments and why I see this as a trading strategy. Now, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, one thing that is very clear, it still continues to have short squeeze potential. So we know if the more volume continues to come into this play, we could see some strong moves to the upside, and that's another reason why I wouldn't be shocked if we end up visiting into the $60 range. And another point that I want to bring across your radar, if you haven't heard about it already, yes, the infrastructure bill has been passed through the House, and now we have to wait for it to actually get passed through the Senate. And they said, you know what, they'll have a decision before us before Christmas. So I'll make sure to keep you guys updated on that. But again, these stocks could run up and benefit from this overall in general. I just want to make sure that is something that you are aware of. And of course, Lucid is a benefactor of that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.